AKZ saw the post and thought you missed the whole thing, and then realized it said posted 48 seconds ago. Yeah, man. Well, I had the thing in my story today, right? So you could send me your hot takes. But now we're actually gonna get into them. All right. So I don't know if this is in reverse chronological order here or not. I think I can go into chronological here. Yes, I think. All right. So start right from the very beginning. So I put up the post. Well, boom, hot takes, Hot Take Tuesday, right? Give me your hot takes, and boom, we came in first with B Foisey, and I'm gonna go by Instagram names here, okay? It's full-on Instagram names, so hopefully you're not embarrassed by having it called out, all right? B Foisey says Nylander over Marner offensive-wise. Could we say this season? If you're gonna limit that to this season, then I think so. You have to kind of admit that. I mean, Marner's been out with the COVID stuff, but I mean, so has Nylander at times as well. You know, like they both kind of missed some games. I'm not sure how many they missed each, but they haven't been there the whole time. And I think this year, for sure, I think Nylander, is flowing a little nicer than Marner right now. And that's okay, guys. That's okay. I was having this discussion with somebody the other day that like a top 10 player in the league, right? Never plays like a top 10 player in the league all the time, right, Leslie? Oh, and I do have I have the recording. I just haven't uploaded it as a thing you can set off, the soup chant. But yes, Leslie gave me a soup chant to throw up as a sound that we're going to add to the channel very soon. So look out for that as well. That right there is a bottle chug for AKZ. Thanks for setting that off as well.
Good one, Randy.
Hey, another good one. Thank you. Leslie's always matching the good stuff, man. Setting off the cool sounds and everything. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Like, would you say Marner's coming out ahead over Nylander this season? You think Nylander's already got the edge on him and he's probably going to, like, beat him out for points and assists and stuff like that? And goals and stuff? I don't know. I think, I think Nylander's could have a better season. If you're an elite player, you don't have to play your best seasons all the time. Like a top 10 player doesn't have to play like a top 10 player all the time, But I don't think it's out of reach for Marner to come back and still finish second in points, maybe even first. You never know, man. He starts racking up those assists and it gets crazy with Marner. So you never know what he's capable of too, right? So that's a good one. You know what I mean? I like a good hot take where it's like, it's not meant to be sensational, necessarily. It's not meant to be completely off the wall insane. It's nice when it's a debatable one that makes you go, ooh, like, I don't know now. Oh, so I'll put that up there. That was a nice hot take. All right, B. Foisey, Nylander over Marner offensive-wise. So, yeah. You guys are saying, like, Seattle, you're saying that Nylander over Marner for possession and scoring sense, but Marner has the better offensive vision. I definitely think Nylander's perhaps got more physical talent, like the way he skates, shoots, and all that stuff compared to Marner. But I agree, Marner's probably the smartest guy on the team. One of, for sure. One of top three at least. 3, 2, 1, somewhere in there, man. Marner, in terms of hockey IQ, the guy is so smart. He's so smart in his angles, in his approaches. That's why they have him on the PK just as much as the power play, man. Huh? How many of that first power play unit is out there for the penalty kill? I think it's just Marner. If I'm wrong, hey, correct me in the chat. I'm not always studying the lines and stuff, but I'm pretty sure, right? Marner's one of the only ones, right? Can't be too many guys on the power play and on the first penalty kill. Marner is, because that's how smart that guy is. So, in that sense, overall game, I still think that Marner's got the edge right now. Absolutely, 100%. But yeah. No, in terms of offense, which is what the question is what you're saying as well too. The ability to score those goals, create chances. Right now, it seems like Nylander's a bit more on the edge there, or getting the edge over him. Nylander's been everywhere and he's been clutch. I'm sorry, Marner fans, but there's no way Marner has been better this season. And you could even argue that Nylander's had the most clutch goals between the two of them their entire careers. Right? Like, how many clutch goals has Nylander scored for us compared to Marner? I don't know what the numbers are, but in terms of like memorable moments, I mean, playoff moments especially, right? What little they have, I think Nylander's got the edge there. I think Nylander's really shown up in big moments Arguably when he's had some pretty quiet times too, you know? I love those blue snakes, eh? You know, I love those snakes from McCabe in there. So yeah, thank you, B. Foisey, for that one. All right, now, next is our boy Pilsy, right? Pilsy23 on Instagram. So I hope you haven't gone nowhere, Pilsy. Hope you're still kicking around there. This one's for you, man. Austin Matthews greater than Draisaitl. Now, I already said yes to this, I think on a Sportsnet post, maybe? Sports Center post? I don't know. TSN post? I don't know, something. Where they were posing the question that who would you rather have, Draisaitl or Matthews? And I was like, hands down Matthews. Hands down Matthews. And I'm sorry, I don't think... I don't know. Draisaitl's been better even since I said that. So it's hard for me to just completely say it's obvious to choose Matthews in this situation, but I don't know, man. Draisaitl seems to play second fiddle in terms of leadership. It's not his team. I don't know why, but it seems to be that that's not the role he's fulfilling. He's the hot dog gunner, you know what I mean? And I mean that in a good way. You got the guys that can just put in the goals, and that's what they're paid to do, and they find ways to do it at all times. They're a threat from anywhere on the ice. As long as they have the puck, they could possibly score a goal. Draisaitl's that kind of player, and that's an elite skill to have. No disrespect. But I think Matthews has got almost as much of that, but he also just seems to have that leadership too. I don't know. You know, he's more of a McDavid kind of role on the team. They both have stepped up in terms of the young guys that also have to learn to play both sides of the puck, be a bit more defensive. I mean, I think the whole NHL's got work to do in the defensive category. Don't get me wrong. So I could point out all kinds of flaws with Matthews and McDavid's defense right now, and people would just laugh at me. But, you know, it's because their offense is so brilliant. It's hard to ignore that part of it too, right? And that's why I say it's not a problem. But certainly, you know, those players could tighten up a little bit defensively, right? So I look at the way Draisaitl plays. I look at the way Matthews plays. And me personally, I just like a Matthews style better, right? So I'm with you on that, Pilsy. You know what I mean? I'm with you on that. But not for the reasons that a lot of people would say. You know what I mean? Because I'm saying those are basically an equal choice. In terms of the amount of impact that they can have on their team, I think they're about the same. They're interchangeable. But it's what kind of personality, style, traits, whatever you want, do you want to have be the theme of your team? There's a bunch of ways to win a cup, man. No two teams do it the same way, right? So it's you as a leader. If you're making a decision like this, you're trying to figure out who you want, Draisaitl or Matthews, right? That's a coin flip, man. You know what I mean? It's whatever style you want, and you hope that it works out for you. You just hope for it, right? So personally, yes, I love Matthews, obviously, but also just strictly as a player, I like the Matthews style better. Content Conch is in the house, first time chat. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're having a good time listening to this stuff. Yeah, we're doing some hot takes tonight, so we're gonna do some from the chat. We got some on Instagram to get to all night, so thank you, Pilsy, as well for that one. Hopefully you caught it before you went to bed. I know it's a bit of a late stream tonight, so yeah, I like that username as well. And Seattle, yeah, you're saying you commented something similar about 10 minutes ago. That's the thing, man. It's hard for me to keep up with the scrolling text, you know. I'm old, and I got it on a big old screen, so I can't, like, so I can read it clearly, but the timing thing, I always miss things. So if I ignore something, you're not going to annoy me by putting it again if I don't address it, okay? How's that for a rule tonight, okay? If you put something up in the chat, a joke or whatever else, you know what I mean, or question, and I don't get to it, don't think I'm ignoring it. Just do it again if you want, right? If you want. Sometimes it's a hassle, I know, but it's not going to be rude. I promise you. You can spam your question until I answer it. All right, spam-free zone in terms of I don't consider anything spam. Just keep everything appropriate for the censors. I don't want to get kicked off this thing. All right. Sound good? So again, yeah. Thanks for coming around here, Content Conch. Like that. Conch shells are so cool. It'd be really funny. What? Oh yeah. See, now you're gonna mash it. Yeah, you're gonna put up the comments extra bold and stuff, so I don't miss them. Exactly. You know what I mean? Grab my attention. It's okay. So on to the next one. NHL Clips and Updates says Thatcher Demko is better than your favorite goalie. And to that I say, who? Who? I don't know. Is Thatcher Demko good? Let's look him up. Let's look him up right now. I've never heard of this guy. I mean, I've heard the name Demko. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean? Like, in terms of like knowing about this guy, I have no idea about his story. I don't know who he is. I don't even know who he plays for. I don't really think I care, which means I doubt his story is fantastic. He might be one of those underappreciated players that can really make someone's team awesome in the future. Trubeleafer phone going by the way here, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Trubeleafers are all 4-1, right? Trubeleafers are all 4-1. Hey, dad jokes galore, huh? And yeah, sorry. Oh my goodness. Pillsy threw me off and you said, can we just appreciate that Jack Campbell's an all-star? Yes, I should have said that as well too. My goodness. So who is this guy? I'm looking up Demko. Who is this guy? Guys, tell me about Demko. What do we even know about this guy? Is that how I spell his name? How do I spell his name? Thatcher Demko. Like, geez. Does he play for Vancouver? Thatcher. Come on, man. Show me the players. Man, my NHL stats thing isn't working. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, man. Jack Campbell's an all-star, man. Soup. He's playing amazing. And Pilsy, you're saying that Demko is overrated, eh? He has a 7-1-1 record at one point last year, and everybody flipped. Okay, okay. Hey, that can happen. No, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's a picture of who a goalie can really be. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that is the truth. It's just people aren't tapping into it enough, and that could be a coaching thing, right? Doesn't necessarily mean the player sucks. All right, Thatcher Demko here. We're on the NHL stats page. Okay. So, yeah. Career-wise, he's what? 50 and 45? 50 and 50, because OT losses still count as losses. I hate it when people do that, man. Oh, our record isn't, you know, we're above 500. And then their record for the season is like 40, like 30, 20, and whatever else is left, 35. You know what I mean? Like the OT losses count as losses, man. So when you're looking at your record, if your OTLs there added to your losses put you over your wins, you do not have a below 500 record. You can't just go wins, losses and go, oh, we've got more wins than losses. We're above 500. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Not necessarily. You might be. But you got to look at that third column and add them to the second. So please, debaters out there, all right? Can you just get that right for me, please? And yet I'm not the stats guy, right? I don't know nothing about stats. Going around claiming false 500 records or higher. Get out of here. OT losses, man. They're losses. Throw them in the loss category. Don't be losers. This season, he's 16 and 15. You know, he's about 50%. And he's about a 50% goalie. So what am I even really looking at beyond that? Done. I think he sucks. Or I think he's mediocre at best. There you go. And does that sound a little harsh to do to a goalie? Does that sound a little harsh to do to a goalie? Should I be looking at more advanced analytics to decide whether this guy is good or not? If I'm looking to find value in players for the sake of putting a team together, yeah, probably. No doubt. I'd want to know way more about this guy than that. Right? But in terms of as a hockey fan, I don't care about a mediocre player on another team. Why do I care? Why do I care? I don't have to know every player in the league. My goodness, you know what I mean? I don't have to know everybody. I got things I got to do, man. I barely know the Leafs. Like the details, the news, the current news, you guys are always the ones telling me, right? If I didn't have you guys on Instagram, like blasting me the messages when these things come up on other people's sites, you know, I always get the news like right when it comes out now, thanks to all you guys. So it's awesome. It goes both ways here, you know? It's not just me. I just make it a lot more fun once we know the news, right? Come around here, man. It's not doom and gloom all the time. It's not freaking out. Okay? It's not freaking out all the time. We have fun around here. That's allowed during a hockey season. Call me crazy. I know. Oh. Nylander. So that was NHL clips and updates. Thank you though for the Demko thing. It got me to look up who he was. Now I know a bit more about him. So Thank you for that. Next one is from Nate Idley. Nate Idley, I think. Nylander ends with 75 plus points. Nylander, 75 plus points. What do we think? I'll let you know what he's at right now, to be fair. Okay, let's find out what he's at right now. Because no, I don't know this stuff off by heart. Nylander is at 36 points. And he's, we're about halfway through the season, right? No, less than halfway. Oh my goodness, we're like, we're not even halfway. Holy jeez. Yeah, they're only at 72, we're halfway, 72, so, I don't know. But yeah, so he's got a lot more games left to play, and he's on for 36 points right now. Oh, point a game. So he'd finish with 82 is what he's on pace for right now. If he's a point a game player, right? Yeah, there you go, AKZ. You guys are all doing it in the chat. I should just look up more. See? Sorry, that hot take was just wrong. There's no take when he's worse. Says Pilsy23. Pilsy23 changed it now. I like it. There you go. Be proud of that name, man. I like Pilsy. Kevo, how you doing, man? That's just right. I don't think that's a hot take. He's on pace for 84 or something. 75 is pretty bold. I can see it if he continues. Here's why I don't. This is one where you bet against the numbers, okay? You bet against the numbers. He's on pace for way more than that, right? He's on pace for way more than 75. I should obviously take that percentage and go, boom. Here's what I don't think. I don't think this season's going to go as smoothly as everybody's making it sound. And I mean that in terms of scheduling. I'm telling you, there's going to be some problems with the schedule, or there's going to be games missed, or they're going to pull something, man. I feel like they're going to pull something, and it'll be another messed up season in terms of how things went down. And Nylander and plenty of other players, too, on all teams are going to get ripped off on numbers they could have had if things had just flowed nicer. Even games missed because of close contact. Never actually sick themselves, but they got close contact or whatever and couldn't be in the lineup. Like, I'm not saying it's not safe to do or whatever. I'm not judging anybody for doing that, but what I'm saying is that's games missed that in other seasons he would have played. And stuff like that is going to happen before the season is done, man. I'm telling you, not everybody's going to have a smooth season. So if that happens to Nylander, then that might very well knock him below the 75-point mark. What if Marner comes back and starts getting hot and starts getting all the attention? You never know. Like, anything can happen. So I don't think it's unreasonable to say 75 by any means. But I don't know. I'm about 50-50 on that one, to be honest. You know what? That's a wuss answer. I'll go like 75% on that. We'll go all the way up to 75. All right, 2-to-1 odds. Is that how you do that? 3-to-1, 3-to-1. This is why nobody trusts me with math, man. Because live in person, I speak like an idiot. I sound dumb. Like, it's okay. I get it. But up here, I'm not, man. And when I put it on paper, it all works out. All right, so thank you, Nate, for that question, or for that hot take, okay? Let's do a quick one from the chat. First person through with a hot take, I'll read it out. We'll do it, okay? Hey, Pilsy, thanks for that, man. Hey, tossing up the subs. Love it. To Kevo is the GOAT. And yes, Kevo is the GOAT. Like the actual animal, the GOAT. You know what I mean? Love it. Love it. Thanks, Pilsy, for that. But yeah, first person through with a hot take. I'll take one out of the audience right now, out of the chat. Just throw one at me, and then we'll continue on with this list here. All right, we got a whole bunch actually, man. We could be here all night. This is more than I thought I'd get, man. So thanks to everybody. If I don't read yours tonight, I'll try and get through as fast as I can if it gets down to it. Okay, AKZ, Ilya Mikheyev to get 30 goals. That's the hot take. Well, let's check out where he's at. This is why I don't remember everything, because it's just so easy to look it up. I don't remember anything anymore. All my brain is committed to is knowing where to look to find it. Anything in life. That's it. Need to roast a turkey? No, I don't. I need to know where to look to know how to roast a turkey. I'll learn it like that. I've done it before. I just need a reminder, because I don't remember. You know what I mean? YouTube, internet, it's a beautiful thing. Mikheyev is at is at 6 points in 7 games. He'll get to 30. Does he have 30 more games in him? Does he get 30 more games? Again, there's Another 36, another 46 games. So does he get 30 games in total? Yeah, probably. But that's a tough pace to keep up with. 30 goals? Oh, sorry, goals, you're saying. That's 5. He's at 5 goals. I don't know, 30, man. 30 is a lot for a guy like him. That's kind of a hot take because that's kind of unbelievable. That's kind of unbelievable. But at the same time, it makes me go, ooh, ooh. I definitely think Mikheyev is one of those guys that, like, he's got something in him we haven't seen yet. He's hiding something, you know, whether it be subconsciously or maybe he just hasn't had the opportunity or whatever. Something's up with that guy where I know he can be even better than what we see. I know it. It's in there somewhere, but we may never see it because he may never play that role for us. You know, he may never have to, but he could be perhaps, you know, a decent left wing or right wing or something like that on a starting line for a team that's struggling. Right? He'd be a nice one to pick up. Get your team rolling in the right direction. You know? I'll do a couple more here. Bishop, most underrated goalie of the 2010s. Yeah, maybe, but there's a lot of names that have been thrown around that for like a season or two, they were the hottest thing on the planet, and then all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean? We're not hearing nothing about them. So, I mean, I'd have to see a list of names like that, but I know there's a bunch. There's a bunch that, like, for one season, maybe two, total rock stars, and everybody's like, this is an all-star in the making. That's why I had to be, like, weary of Jack Campbell, right? Not weary in the sense that I didn't trust him to play the net. Like, he knows what to do, but, like, you guys remember, I did not jump on the Jack Campbell train very quickly. I didn't. It was still Freddie's net to me, and until Freddie came back, ready to take it and give it a fair shot and see where he's at, I wasn't willing to say that Jack Campbell could be a better goalie than him, you know? So yeah, I was a little bit late to the Jack Campbell train, and that's fine, because I never said he sucked, right? I just wanted to see, because I've seen goalies get hot for a season. You know, they get thrust into a situation they wouldn't normally be in, and it causes them to get that little bit of an edge, that little bit of excitement back into their step, and they have a hot season or a hot 3/4 of a season, and then they come back next season when it's expected for them to be like that all the time, and woo, just, I mean, come on, how many bad goalies did we see in Toronto come in for like that exact reason, right? How many goalies in Toronto have we seen come through the system in the past 15 years? A bunch. All right. I'm going to say no to 30. 20 is even a scratch. Or stretch, you'd say 10-5, says Seattle. Well, I did say the Leafs would win the Cup in 2022. Yeah, that's right. I did. And if they don't win it this year, I'll say it again next year. You know what I mean? I love the people that freak out like that's a curse, like that's a jinx. Come on. I've been saying it every year forever, and I'm going to keep saying it. You can keep blaming me if you want. But you should be saying it too. Everybody should be saying it. Well, who cares if we're wrong? We're Leafs fans. We're not supposed to be right. We're supposed to be behind the blue and white, right? Dropping freestyles around here, guys. I should set up a dono box. What's that? Dono box? What's that, Billsy? You let me know. Back to the hot takes, guys. Okay, back to the hot takes. This next one comes from... where am I here? Oh, man, we got so many to get through. I'm going way too slow. We're half an hour in, and I'm like 4 of these things in. Whoops. Braden Lamb 17 says, plus minus has some slight use, but overall shouldn't be used to evaluate players. And to that I say, just with all due respect, I don't think you understand what it really means. Because I didn't either, guys. I hope people don't think I'm trying to be arrogant when I say something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think I had much use for plus minus until like this year. I really didn't. But I just kept looking at it being like, why do we keep tracking this thing if it doesn't mean something? It's got to mean something. And then I started looking into who's really good at it and who's really bad at it, like over longer and longer periods of time. And I got to say, man, the people that come up high in plus minus, high in the plus by the end of their career, they're all pretty good players, man. They're all pretty good players, right? And yeah, there's some pretty good players that are also pretty low on that list by the end of their career that you might think would have been way higher. But maybe we've been valuing the wrong things in hockey. You know? That's what I'm looking at now. I'm trying to look at it and go, maybe the way that I've appreciated this game is wrong. Maybe what I've been seeing as good in the NHL is wrong. Maybe. So I've been questioning myself as much as anybody with all this plus minus stuff. So please, please, please don't take it as something that like, I think that this is like so easy to grasp and everybody should be doing it right now because I said so. I'm still getting my head around it. But I'm on to something here, man. And I bet you if you all look into it and really try to go down that rabbit hole with me, you'll probably find even better uses for it than I do. Okay? Because it's the only thing affected by the intangibles. Just is. Intangibles, the things we can't measure, the things we don't measure, the things that are your fault and the things that are not your fault. All of it. It shows up in plus minus. That's what it means. That's what it really means. Are things going well for you or are they not? Okay, and that's a valuable thing to know. Right? So no, I don't think it's a sole figure to judge anybody by. Right? But it's a good start. I think it's the best start. I think it's the best start to find out what's going on. Maybe too few season wonders in net. Yeah, Corey Crawford, Corey Schneider, Tuukka Rask. I know that's a hot take. Yeah, no, Tuukka Rask has proved himself to have a nice chunk of being a solid goaltender for sure. I'm not sure if you can say like all-time legend or not, but certainly for his generation, yeah, probably actually. You know. If I'm being fair, I think he's created some monumental moments for the Boston Bruins while he's been there. That he goes into that elite category for me for sure. But the other two, Schneider and Crawford, I mean, they're good enough to be there. Don't get me wrong, they don't suck, right? They don't suck, but they're good enough to be there. I just don't think they are that one season that you saw from them, or that couple of seasons that maybe you saw from them. I agree, those are good names. Good names to throw out there on that one. I don't know what Pilsy's talking about here. I don't have any donation stuff. I don't actually have anything that's donating to anybody yet. I want to get one of those going though. I want to figure out how to do a proper donation, so like it can go straight from the Twitch stream right to the organization or something like that. That'd be nice. But I do have that tip thing going, and I have like because there's things up there in the borders and down below or whatever for tips or something like that. Recent something or other is right there. That's somebody that did it. So those things are there. Highlighted message. My work offers a paycheck for being laid off because of the Rona. So once I pick up my check, I'm a tip. Oh, you don't have to spend that on me, man. You don't have to spend that on me. Oh, man. Honestly, you'd be even better off just buying ice cream with that. You know what I mean? That'll cheer you up. Cheer me up. You know what I mean? You need some good cheer up moments. Right? Some found money moments, perhaps. However you want to look at it. Doesn't have to be a bad way to look at it. But, it could be a good way to look at it. But that's new money, man. That's new money. That's a you know what I mean? That's a nice tip from above, not from me or from around you spiritually or something, right? Rock that. Do what you do something even cooler with that than spending it around here, all right? Just tell me what you spent it on. That'd be really cool. I know I've been ranting a while when AKZ can get another chug the bottle in. Holy. Right? All right, on to the next one. So thank you, Braden Lamb, for that one. Oh, he's got another one here. Quinlan sucks. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Does that outrage people if I say that? Watch, a lot of this stuff only makes people mad because I'm the one saying it, right? A Leafs fan like me. Quinlan sucks. Let's see if that blows up, all right? Thank you, Braden Lamb, for that. Jay Pickering, 14. If JT doesn't get hurt, Leafs beat the Habs and sweep the Jets. Ooh, guys. If JT doesn't get hurt, I'm sorry to say, I don't think that guarantees a victory over the Habs. I don't. I think it could have, absolutely. I think it absolutely could have. He's a guy that can help swing a series for sure. He's coming through for some big OT goals and stuff against Montreal specifically since he's joined the team. Some big moments against them. So he's definitely capable of perhaps getting them an extra win to kind of finish that series. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of that was the Leafs beating themselves. And I give Montreal all the credit in the world. You guys remember my videos about it. I never really tried to disrespect Montreal about it. Even though it sucked losing to them in 7 like that. Oh, one of the worst days of my life. Right? But they get all the respect in the world for hanging in there and not letting themselves get beat. But I think any honest hockey fan can look at that series and go, ooh, like the Leafs beat themselves. And what that usually means is that like they played the better hockey games. It's just that when they made a mistake, their few mistakes were so catastrophic, they might as well have just pulled the goalie. You know, which again, like that's no disrespect because like that makes it sound like, oh, they just like, you know, let Montreal win or something. And it's like, it's not that. And I definitely think that Montreal, after beating Toronto, right, found some life and they carried that through to Winnipeg. I'm not sure we would have had as good a series against Winnipeg the way they did. I think they really rode that momentum of beating the Leafs, doing the impossible, being the underdogs, rising above, rising to the challenge. And I think that carried them through the next 2 series. Because, you know, belief is a huge thing. And that's why it's in the name, guys. That's why it's in the name. I'm not even kidding. As hokey, Disney kind of sounding crap as that is, belief is a huge thing, especially in sports. So, you know, I think Montreal deserved to win, you know. So I can't say it. I that's not a guarantee to me, right? If you had said more like a question maybe, then I could just say what I think. But like, because the statement had like the hot take is that if he doesn't get hurt, they beat the Habs and sweep the Jets. I'm just like, no, man, no, I can't see that. Leafs like to make everything difficult for themselves, even when it goes well. And I kind of like that about them. You know what I mean? Because one of these times they're just going to like not have it be an issue. You know, they're just going to do what they need to do. And that'll be a fun one to watch. All right, so thank you, Jay Pickering 14. Next one, Nico Arunprapun 23. I'm going to butcher some of these names. My bad. Jonathan Quick is a Vezina contender. Is that because he got lit up for those 5 goals against San Jose by that one dude? Do I detect a little bit of sarcasm there? Maybe. You know, Campbell might pull it out. Campbell might pull out the Vezina. You never know. If they win a couple rounds and he's the guy that's there doing it for him, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how he doesn't win a Vezina. Or I guess, I don't know if they decided for the season and not the playoffs, but I mean, he's pulling out some incredible numbers for at least 1 year for Toronto, so I love it. So you're saying, guys, it's John Tavares. Obviously, it doesn't guarantee, but he's a captain and a goal scorer and a good defensive player. Yeah, like totally. Like, yeah, to go back to the Tavares thing for a second. Yeah, like he's a phenomenal guy, and like he's had proven success against Montreal in big moments. So I definitely think it would have helped for sure. But I just, you know, until you see somebody do something, you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what other things could have happened. Maybe that series gets out of hand because of the violence, and all of a sudden, you know, like they would lose some other way. Like, we don't really have a lot of tough guys, you know. You got Simmons there. I guess Richie. You know, you can't have them fighting every night. So, I don't know. I don't know how it would have gone with him. Spencer Gendron, 57, longtime friend of the stuff that goes on around here, says the Leafs will have another first round exit. Please no, though. Like, please N-O. I don't think that's a hot take. That's what everybody says. So with all due respect, Spencer, you lose on that one. That's not a hot take. That's what everybody says. In fact, it's a hotter take to not say that. I'm the hot take for not saying that. Who knew that cheering on your team would make you the rebel of a fan base? That's incredible to me. That's incredible to me. You know? I'm on here, I'm on camera, I'm on social media and stuff, blasting how much I love this team. And I'm the bad guy for the fan base. Like, how? How? I don't understand it, man. Sorry, side note, and this is one I'll clip and I'll throw up on YouTube or something like that, I guarantee you. I did figure it out, okay? When a guy that's dressed up like me, doing this kind of stuff, all right, spends more time slandering and screaming at his team than enjoying it, okay? I put forth the question that perhaps the key demographic that person is aiming for is not even Leafs fans to begin with. That's my new hypothesis, okay? Out of all the teams in the league, what is it, 32 now? We're at 34. What are we at with Seattle? I don't know, but we're at 30-something, okay, teams. Only one of them is Toronto. So if Leafs fans are the only ones watching my stuff, that limits my NHL hockey fan base by like this, right? Whereas I become the Leafs fan that I know the other team's fan bases want to be. Oh, that's a much larger demographic, wouldn't you say, than the fans of the team that I'm actually wearing? So let's get that straight now, all right? I see a pattern there. I see a pattern of trying to aim for the people that aren't even the representatives that wear this stuff on the daily. You know what I mean? That are fans of this stuff on the daily. I wonder if people like that are gearing their whole source of entertainment to all the other fan bases other than Toronto. Hey, you know what? I'd love to be wrong. Prove me wrong, man. You know what I mean? Just like everybody says about the Leafs. Not guys like me, but a lot of other people. When they're like, hey, prove me wrong, Leafs. I want to believe, but you got to prove to me that I'm wrong about you being a failure. Okay. Prove me wrong that you're not a fan. That you're not aiming for all the other fan bases instead of the one that you claim to be a part of. I wonder if we have a mole within the system. All right? I wonder if we have a corporate spy amongst us that's claiming this, but is actually not. I'll let y'all judge. Let the chats decide. Let the comments decide. Okay, let the viewers decide. I put it forth unto you, internet. I'm getting carried away now. This is going to get me in all kinds of trouble. By the way, remember the post after we lost to the Canes? You said this is why Johnny Quick was always chosen before Campbell. That was interesting. Yeah, I don't remember saying that. But I probably did. And he probably played amazing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what the story is on Quick right now, to be honest. I don't even know. I know he's one of those names that, again, he's definitely had some runs, man, of looking real good. You know what I mean? He's definitely been a goaltender that other goaltenders have looked up to at times. Big time, you know? So, my earlier comments even about him, like, I hope that wasn't taken as disrespect. I like the guy, but I have no idea what's going on with him right now. So, I know he just got lit up against the guy from San Jose, right? That's the big thing that was going on. I didn't even know about. He's holding like 5 pucks, man. He scored 5 goals on the guy. Where'd that come from? You know what I mean? And Pillsy, you're saying, yes, 32, eh? 16 in each conference. All right, good. All right, good. I thought it was, but I don't know. Math gets messed up in my head. I need to write it down. Hey, this next one is from our good friend Leslie here. Still kicking around out there, Leslie. This one comes from you. Toronto Maple Leafs are currently the sole Canadian team in a playoff spot. It's funny how that is a hot take in today's sports world, in today's hockey world, eh? It's amazing how that is a hot take. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's not even debatable. That's a stat that's on a leaderboard right now. The Leafs are the only Canadian team currently in a playoff spot. I'm not saying it's going to change, or not that it's not going to change. It could change tomorrow. It could have already changed before I even started this stream here tonight, you know? Could have changed. I don't know. Right? But at the time of like us talking about it, when I put this forth, that was a fact. So I don't even know how that gets people so mad. All of a sudden they got all these insults they want to chuck at me. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry my team's doing better than yours. Whoops. My bad. Go cry. AKZ, hey, there you go, buddy. You're still here, right? This next one comes from you. Oh, thanks, Cooks, by the way, for the... I called you Cooks because it's your Instagram, but Leslie. Yeah, thanks, Leslie, for that submission. All right, and for always being a supporter of things around here, right? AKZ, yeah, another big-time supporter of everything around here. Ilya Mikheyev ends his season with 30 points, 30 goals, sorry, and 50 points. So you kind of, I see. So you did that in the chat as well here. My bad for not getting to it faster, dude. Thanks for hanging around. But yeah, man, I definitely think you never know with a guy like that. You never know. You know, if he gets the right coaching, gets the right opportunities, he could have it in him. He definitely looks like he's got potential. He looks like he's got the potential for sure. If that means anything to anybody. I don't know. I don't like holding people to a determined path. Like, I'm weird like that. I like seeing the forks. Everybody, it's all about forks, okay? You look at a guy, you try to rate them. You have to know where they could go, like their best fork and their worst fork. Because those two are possibilities. You got to know both. And you were saying in the chat here, Pillsy, you're saying, how are the Habs up 5-2 against the Stars? Because it's the NHL, man, and anything's possible. Oh, so Arizona beat us, right? Arizona beat us. And I got a St. Louis fan chirping me, saying that, like, you know what I mean? That they, the Blues were going to stomp on us because we lost to Arizona. You know? And I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. People lose to Arizona. And he's like, no, they don't. They've only had like 8 wins. So I looked into their wins. And one of them was the St. Louis Blues back in November. So boom. And then we go in there. Well, but the Leafs go in there and stomp on St. Louis. All right? Yeah, it was a close game. It was back and forth, I know. But, like, you know what I mean? To be arrogant about it, they stomped on them. All right? To overhype it, they stomped on them. And it was good. And then after that, they played Colorado. And I think Colorado had a 3-0 lead against them, didn't they? Against Arizona? Arizona tied it. They ended up going to overtime. Colorado did win. But, you know what I mean? Colorado's also a very good team. And they should never have given up a lead against Arizona. And I didn't hear a word about it in the news. I had to hear about it from my Colorado fan friend, sorry. Right? My best friend's a Colorado fan. I had to hear about it from him. That's how close it was against Arizona. So, you know what I mean? There was no freaking out about that. So, yeah, Montreal can win games. Arizona can win games. It's going to happen. You can't be shook by that stuff, man. You can't be shook by it. It's one time for you as the fan of the other team, you know? Whatever. Bigger fish to fry, right? I don't know what L+ ratio is. Yeah, and then we beat the Blues 6-5. So, you know what I mean? Forget about it. All right, so AKZ, thanks for that one. By the way, that comment there about Mikheyev. This one is Brady, surrounded by 2s. So, I guess 2s. Oh, that's kind of cool. If it's 2s, like he's got the number 2. But if it's 2, that's kind of like quotes. Pretty clever name, Brady. Matthews is a playoff potato spud. I don't know what that means. If you mean that he underperforms in the playoffs up to this point, yeah. I'm not going to argue on that. It's not really a hot take. That's just what's happened so far. You know, that's what's happened so far. I argue to say that he actually did have a fair amount of goals last playoffs against Montreal. He was looking pretty good. But as a team, they just couldn't buy a win, man. You know what I mean? To close it out. So, no worries, Pelzy. Thanks for coming around. I'm glad we got to your comment. I'm glad we got to your hot take, you know? Thanks for coming out, dude. And you can always check out on the rest of it on YouTube tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just skip ahead a little bit. So, yeah, thanks for that, Brady. I guess I agree with you. I don't think that's much of a hot take, though. I think you're just kind of talking about what's already happened. Okay? So, hot hand theory works in reverse, too, okay? It's not always about being hot. Sometimes it's cold hand theory as well. It's the same theory. If you don't know what it is, look it up. All right? But thank you, Brady, for the submission there. Who's this? Le Petit Haitian says, Cale Makar is good at hockey. Well, you're obviously not going for a hot take on that one, but you bring up a very good topic, and then it is kind of exciting to watch. I love seeing new players emerge on the scene. I love seeing new stars be born, and it looks like Cale Makar is going to be that, at least for now. So it's worth checking out, man. Pelzy, don't worry about that stuff, man. Don't worry, okay? You're all right. You're good. And AKC, you're saying, so L represents someone taking a loss which you probably know. And ratio is when someone replies to a comment and gets more likes than the comment they replied to. Oh, yes, I have seen that. My bad. I didn't know it translated over here into chats. But yes, I get it. Ratio. When my likes, the likes on my comment are bigger than the likes on your actual post. Here's the thing, though, that I don't think people really understand yet, which is a shame because social media has been around forever now. Both of those things benefit the content creator. So the person responding thinking that, oh, mine's liked 3 times more than your original post here, my comment, that comment is on my page. It's on my post. So that helps me get seen even more next time. So you want to ratio me, man. I wish more people would. I really do, man. Take any A-list celebrity, let them ratio me, man. Put The Rock on one of my comment sections. Have him say something. Ratio. Okay. Okay. Bring it on, man. I hope every comment ratios me. Every single one. It means less work for me and more credit. More free credit. So thanks for reminding me what that is, AKZ. And yeah, bring them on, man. Ratio. All right, so thanks, Haitian, for that one as well, too. MVP in the house here with this next one. Leafs miss the playoffs, but win the draft lottery. I mean, that's just an outrageous one that's going to get the clicks. If somebody had that in their sports column, you know? Right, MVP? Because, I mean, come on, right? I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to miss the playoffs. I mean, it is the Leafs. We know their history. We've seen it happen. It's always possible, you know what I mean? It's always possible for them to miss the playoffs at a point like this. There's still more than half the games left to go. You're darn right they can miss the playoffs. It's less likely, though, obviously. Or at least it seems that way. But to also win the draft lottery if they were to miss the playoffs? Because if they miss it, I think they're only going to miss it by a bit, which means, like, what? They're going to get so lucky that their one ballot gets the draft pick or something? I don't know, man. That's pretty outrageous. I mean, that'll get you some clicks, for sure, if you're trying to go for that ratio. Ratio! Right? Ratio! Barkdog 3000. Oh, wait, no. MVP's got another one here. MVP's got another one. Leafs trade Muzzin and Hall in a package deal at deadline. Ooh, I mean, no, not both. Not both. I don't think both. Because you need one. You're not going to get 2 defensemen in return. I mean, if you could, then yeah, maybe they do that. And then what? So you're going to take the players you get and then try to flip them for defense? I mean, you better have that lined up then. You better have one team that wants some forwards that you don't have. And then you better be willing to trade the team who has them, your defense, right? So that when you get their forwards back for your defense, you immediately flip them over here to this guy who wants those forwards and you want their defense. But we cannot lose 2 guys, man. Two defensemen at the trade deadline. I don't see it. I could see one to try and boost up, you know what I mean, their defensive line. I would say it's probably going to be Hall more than Muzzin. But at the same time, right, if you get a better deal for Muzzin, like you get 2 defensemen for him somehow, or I never know. I don't know. If you get something better for him, then you go with that trade, right? It all depends on what's available out there, but I don't think both. I wouldn't say so, right? So, but you're not the first person to say that one there, MVP. So it's not outrageous, really. I've seen that kind of floating around actually on the internet right now. So a little bit of a hot take. I'll give that like a nice Frank's extra hot sauce on that one. Throw some Scovilles on there, but not too many. Not too many. You'll make it kind of hot. Not a bad take there, MVP. Barkdog 3000. I'm just gonna say on this one. You said throwing up the shocker is really cool and rad. As an esteemed member of my community, I can assure you I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to have to pass on that question. I'm not educated enough to know about it. Okay? I'll trust that you do. And Another one, man. I've been ranting forever. AKZ, holy. When I run out of water, I'm done for the night, however long that takes. All right. So I'll trust you on that one, Bark Dog. Thanks for the comment. Whatever that means. Adam G House 98. Leafs pass first round. See, that actually is the hot take, right? To say it that way. That they're actually going to succeed. That's the hot take. Because the hot take is the thing that goes against what everybody else says, but is like interesting. It sounds like it could be true, though. It sounds like it's not just complete nonsense. So you're right. That is the hot take. Thank you, Adam. Oh, our friend over at Dan's Gotta Know. We got Dan here saying, Aki Berg has more playoff goals for Leafs than Wayne Simmons. Okay. I think you're probably right about that. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to necessarily look him up right now. Maybe we will. Let's see if we can find Aki Berg. See if we can find Aki Berg. Aki. No, it doesn't have him? No way. Berg. What? I guess he's not currently in the NHL? Whatever, I'll look him up a different time then. I'll look him up a different time. But yeah, Aki Berg? I mean, sure. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really care one way or the other on that one. Because Wayne Simmons is awesome. And it wasn't Aki Berg a defenseman. You know what I mean? And he was supposed to be like a top one at the time for us. He didn't end up being one, I don't think. But like, you know what I mean? He's one of those names that gets tossed around as a joke more times than not. And Simmons is awesome. So that would probably just be an interesting fact. Yeah, no worries, AKZ. It's not the first time this stuff happens, man. You know what I mean? That's why the replays on YouTube is where it's at. You see what I'm saying? You gotta diversify your content. You know what I mean? It's not always about the thing that's right there in front of your face. Sometimes it's about the relay. Sometimes it's about the ratio, right? Right? That's how you do it. But thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan, for your comment there, man. By all means, we love what you're doing over there, man. You and your guys with your crazy man talk. All right, we love it. We love it. Check him out. Dan's Gotta Know on Instagram. Now I always mispronounce his name, I think. Murluk? Something like that. Matthews is the second best player in the league due to his defensive game. Second best player in the league? I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I go, for me, the number one is McDavid. He's just physically so skilled. I don't know. And I think any negatives to his game really come from Edmonton more so than it does himself. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He's responsible for himself, but put yourself in his shoes, and I don't think you're going to be playing at your best the way McDavid could be playing at his best. His best is still better than just about everybody in the league. Fair, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting McDavid down here at all. I'm saying he's number one because I think if he were at his best, the way Gretz was back in his day and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't long after he joined the Oilers, they went on the rise and started winning all those cups, right? I think if something like that ever happened to a guy like McDavid, I mean, it would have been lights out, like, in terms of the separation. You know what I mean? There's a bit of timing that has to happen there. Guys like Gretzky were so good, not only just because of who they were, that's like the bigger portion of it. There's also things like timing, you know? And for him to be on the Oilers at the time he was, Gretz was able to put up huge numbers, you know? And we'll never see that again until that same timing happens, where someone like McDavid comes into the league, struggles maybe for a couple years, but then starts winning cup after cup after cup. And you see the big numbers come through again, you know? I mean, look at Ovechkin. I don't know how anybody can say that Ovechkin's not the second best guy in the league. Some people might even say first, to be honest, and I wouldn't think they're crazy. You know, because he's at least proven himself a bit more. Some people still say Sidney Crosby. You know, and again, it's like, oh man, I know Matthews is so good because he's so young and like faster and everything like that from some of these guys. But they're not really that far behind him. I know they seem old because they've been in the league for a long time or whatever, but like a guy like Crosby is still not old. He's not old. You know what I mean? He's still very much in shape. These guys take care of their bodies in ways that the old guys, from my generation didn't. That's what these guys are doing. You know what I mean? The guys I watched growing up, they're hacking darts in the locker room sometimes in between periods. Right? They don't do that stuff anymore. That's why Ovechkin's still really, really good. So, I don't know if he's the second best player in the league, man. I love him, and I hope he becomes the first best player in the league while he's still in Toronto. But for now, defensive skills are not, to me, it's not quite there. It's not quite at what I would consider second best. He could be first best one time. I'm telling you, he's that good. By the end of his career, people might think he was the first best. Right? But yeah, I would hold off on that one for a little bit there. But thank you for the submission there, Murluke. Sorry about these names, guys. I'm just stupid. That's what it comes down to, right? It's nothing to do with you guys. It's all to do with me. I'm just stupid. I'm doing my best. All right? Only a couple more left to go, man. We got Mr. Landon Fish says Justin Hall is the worst D-man on Toronto. Not his opinion in brackets. That's just the hot take he's going for. Justin Hall is the worst D-man on Toronto. That might be true. And I say that knowing full well I've been on teams where I'm the worst guy on the team. Right? It doesn't mean I was bad. It just means that you end up on a team where you're like, holy jeez, everyone here is better than me, And that's fine. Someone has to be the worst. You don't have even strength teams, all 22 guys on a team, goalies included, You have guys that are the worst. There's no shame in it. So he might be the worst guy, the worst D-man at least on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that's fine. I still think he's pretty good. I think he'll figure it out. If not for us, he'll figure it out with somebody. I think he's too good of a D-man to fail in this league, but I also think he might be better suited somewhere else eventually. I just hope not right now. I don't really want to mess with things for too much while they're still going well. This one is from so thank you for the question though, Mr. Landon Fish. This one is from I Hate NHL Ranking. All right, and you're gonna say Zdeno Chara's hockey stick isn't that big. I mean, you didn't say hockey stick, but I'm going to say hockey stick. And that's what you said. Isn't that big? I'll take your word for it on that one. I don't know the guy well enough. Might be kind of awkward if I was, but maybe not. Maybe he's a cool guy. I don't know. But I have seen them try out his hockey stick on the ice. I think Coach Jeremy had one. Pretty tall, man. Pretty tall hockey stick. I mean, I think that's what you're trying to say anyways, right? Thank you for the hot take there. I hate NHL ranking. I kind of do too. Right on, buddy. Lawrence Stewart, 15, longtime friend of ours. PK will be a Leaf in the next 2 years. Oh, buddy, if he can cut out with the slew foots, I would love to see that. I really think overall he's been a really classy guy. I don't know what's going on lately. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not judging. I've done stupid things, but I don't like seeing guys who I appreciate doing stupid things. It makes me feel bad for them. So if anything, I feel bad for the guy. I hope that gets out of his game. I don't want to see him getting that kind of attention because he's too good of a player. He's too important. He's too important to the hockey movement. Of spreading this game around for everybody so that everybody can feel included when they strap on skates. I'm a big supporter of that. I love PK Subban for all the work he does off the ice. So I'd love to see him show up at Toronto, man. He's from here. He's from Scarborough or whatever, right? Bring it on. Let's go. Bring him on the team. I would love it. Throw Carey Price on there, too, as a backup, too. Why not? I don't care. Get them both. That'd be hilarious to me. And then finally, the last one, Richmond MW here says, to me, this isn't a hot take, but to others it is. Marner is the most valuable Leafs player. He's my favorite Leaf going right now. Just in terms of how he plays. He plays a style that I'm so envious of in the greatest of ways. In the sense that, I would love to play like him. but I also am not, dumb enough to feel like I got slighted out of something. I've never put the amount of work into hockey the way that Marner does, or any of these NHL guys. That's on me. That's not on like the Fates or anything like that. So I'm not like thinking that like, oh, that could have been me ever. I'm not saying that. I'm not built to be like him, but I really appreciate what he does. I think Marner's such a smart, agile, skilled player. He's easily my favorite in terms of the style I wish I could be. You know what I mean? Oh, he's so good. But I like guys for like Simmons as well, though. We know that for just he's more like a guy like Simmons is more like who I could have been had I been another 1.5 feet taller and like harder working. You know what I mean? Because that was more the style I did play when at my speed, of course. You know what I mean? My little kid speed, but that was the style I played. Was I liked the big hits. I liked sticking up for my teammates. We didn't fight because I wasn't old enough, but like, you know what I mean? I don't like bullies. I don't like seeing my friends get bullied. And I had no problem being an anti-bully repellent for my teams once we started allowed being able to hit and stuff like that. Was some of my favorite stuff to do. So Simmons is more like what I probably would have ended up as, just a lot shorter, right? And Marner's the guy I never would have been as good as, but I wish I could be. I wish I could be like that, man. It just looks so much fun. It looks so much fun to play like Marner. He's having so much fun doing it. Like, it's just incredible, right? So that's what I think there, man. So to me, he's my most valuable player, right? You think there's another one? Check again. Oh, really? Is there another one? I go out of it and go back into it. How did I do that? How did I do that? I don't even know how I did it now. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's actually a couple more. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, there's like 3 more. Man, Seattle's not here anymore. Seattle's here? Seattle's got one in here. Matthews is better overall player than Draisaitl. Oh, sorry for the late response. Yeah, we kind of covered that one earlier, so you probably did it in the chat even too. I am OP Daniel says Bishop the most underrated goalie of the past decade. Bishop, eh? I don't know. Underrated goalie. Bishop got his credit, didn't he? I remember Bishop getting his credit when he needed it, right? Wait, what? First time chat from viewer, what the heck is that? I don't know about that. That doesn't seem right. I apologize if you're a real person trying to make a real comment there. That seems very bot-like to me. No disrespect. Throw something else up in the chat quickly if you... Yeah, you. Just your username. I don't know. It seems like one of those bots, man. Like, straight up. I'm just telling you. Like, no disrespect. You might even be doing that intentionally, so... yeah, I can see you're real now by the way you're responding. So my bad on that, but like, you'd be surprised how many bots I get like trying to DM me with names something like yours and stuff. So my bad on that. No hot takes. You just wished Vegas wasn't the master of choking games. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, guys, they all choke. All the teams choke. They all have their moments where they choked as teams. You know what I mean? I've seen plenty over the years, and I've seen other teams, though, do it. You know, there's lots of years where my team wasn't even in the playoffs, which means I watched other people's series all the time. People choke, right? Like, it can happen. It can happen quickly, in a heartbeat, and it just crushes you. So, if you're a Vegas fan, are you a Vegas fan? Is that why you're saying that? If you are, like, don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it. You know, every dog has its day, you know, so to speak. So... Vegas already came close, man, to a cup in their first year. So that's pretty impressive. That'll keep you going on fumes for a little while, you know? But choking a 3-0 lead was just absolutely devastating to watch. See, like, is it though? Because I'm starting to see it all across the league. Guys, maybe this isn't such a devastating thing anymore. How many times have we heard how difficult it is to score in the NHL today, right? It's so much more difficult to score in the NHL than it was back then. Really? Because the scores don't seem to show it. You know? Like, what is the average goals, total goal, or the average goals per game fluctuated over the last few seasons? Like, I don't know, man. You look at it, and it's like, you know, up to like 0.5% or like 0.5 goals and stuff, which over the course of all the games and stuff, it does add up and everything. I'm not trying to say that there hasn't been differences in the scoring, but like right now, it seems like leads are not safe. Leads are not safe in today's NHL. Everyone's so emotional. They don't know how to play it cool. They don't know how to play level-headed. So it's like teams that have 3-0 leads, 4-0 leads, they let in a goal, maybe 2, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, it's happening again. And they start to freak out. It's not just the Leafs. I'm seeing it all across the league, man. You know? Plenty of teams are doing this right now. And it's the new NHL. So maybe it's not as hard to score goals as we've been acting like. Maybe just the data is not new, or the data is not old enough yet. You know, there hasn't been enough years like this where we can start accumulating the data and figuring out what's really going on. You know, it's too small a sample size perhaps right now, but I'm willing to bet, man, it's not as hard to score goals as all the media is acting like. I don't think it is. I think emotions are running too high and too low. You can catch people off guard. All right, so this one here we got from Lugensdort. Oh, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen Lugensdort and AKZ in the room together at the same time. I don't know. Not putting anything out there, but I'm not sure I've ever seen those guys in the same room once. Oh wait, no, there was that birthday party down at the Daily Bugle for J. Jonah Jameson. I remember that. You were both there at the same time. One of you, Lugensdort, I think, was swinging by the window. And AKZ was right there in the office with me. So, just so we're all clear, they're definitely not the same guy. Lugensdort wins the cup this year. Definitely. That's not even a hot take. That's a for sure thing. Lugensdort. All right? I believe in you. I believe you can win the cup. You know? I believe you can win the cup. Absolutely. Lugensdort can do anything. That's what I think, anyways. People can call me a liar. People can call me a cheat. Whatever else they want. I'm used to it. I think I'm all out of the Instagram one. So, one last chance. Anyone got a hot take? Anyone got a hot take in the chat? One last call. Let me know if anybody's got one. And then I'll probably cut this one short. Well, I guess it's not short. We've been rambling for over an hour, but I don't know how people stream for like 5-6 hours at a time, man. Don't their butts start to hurt after a while? Mine does. And I got a nice comfy chair, man. I got one of the comfiest chairs ever. I'm almost out of water, too. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, man. AKZ, trubeleafer gets 1 million followers on Twitch in 2022. Oh, that'd be something, eh? That'd be something, bud. I'd appreciate that, but that's definitely not a hot take. That's not even a mediocre, or not even like a medium warm take. That take is so cold. That take is so not even happening. Guys, I don't know the internet very well. I know how to do this. If everyone else could just get this in front of eyes using algorithms and stuff like that, that would be awesome. But every time I think I'm onto something, the game changes. I'm telling you, man, people don't even realize when Instagram got rid of the ability to see likes for all that time, that crushed guys like me. That crushed guys like me on Instagram. I was getting so many likes, so many views. And then literally right when they switched that stuff, not views, I guess, but like, you know, well, yeah, because of the reach and stuff like that. When they switched that stuff so that people didn't like as often, because for some reason they were feeling pressure by seeing numbers down in the like section, they're like, oh, well, then I don't want to be left out. And then they would hit like too. That's why they claim to get rid of the likes. It didn't make much sense to me, but when I saw what it did to small creators like me, where it made people visually think that we're doing a lot better off than we are, so they're not pressured as much to hit like, because they're like, oh, they're doing fine. Look how good that looks. Look at this camera. Look at this camera work and this lights and, you know, these glowy things that can change colors and all that stuff, and the chat that scrolls. You know what I mean? Like the casual viewer, so many of them don't realize how easy this stuff is to put together. They don't realize just how easy. I mean, you can all do it. You can all do it for like a couple $100, which might sound like a lot if you don't have a couple $100 lying around. I get it, but this stuff used to cost $10,000. You know what I mean? To do what I'm doing here right now. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine what this would cost back in like 2004 to be able to do this. You know what I mean? First of all, you couldn't do it via the internet. So let's get it up to speed there. Let's put it like even at 2010. You know, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, you could probably do this exact thing on Twitch and everything. I don't know about Twitch or whatever, but you could have a live stream of some kind. And to get it this crisp and clean looking would have cost tens of thousands of dollars. You do for a couple hundred now, you know? So it's amazing. But unfortunately, it makes people think that you're way further ahead in the game than you really are, you know? And then you used to see the likes and be like, oh, this is down only on a couple hundred. Let's throw this guy some support, you know what I mean? Now they don't as much, you know? And that's cool, man, and it's cool, it's fine. But that's what I'm saying is you learn ways to bounce back from that stuff on this social media stuff. There's always a new way to go about things. So they change it up every now and again. And I'm just not as good at keeping up with all that. I'm trying. It's really hard when you also have to like work and stuff, you know? So, I mean, yeah, it never made much sense to me. But when I saw what it did to a lot of small creators, just got stuffed down. Not just me, like a lot of people I saw just lose all momentum once they got rid of that. But now they've even kind of brought it back. You can see it again, kind of, but like the damage is done, man. The damage is done. It just squashed momentum for so many people. So it's all about momentum. It's all about regenerating it, getting it going again, and that's why these postponed games and stuff, like it's been rough. It's been rough to do something like this. My heart goes out to all the creators, even the ones I disagree with that do like Leaf stuff or hockey stuff. With the seasons going the way they're doing, NFL, all that stuff, man, my heart goes out to all you content guys trying to get stuff done with your favorite teams and everything, man. I feel you. It's rough. But that's it there, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. Thanks for joining along if you didn't get here right at the beginning. Follow along, subscribe, whatever else you got to do. Join me on YouTube, Instagram, everything else. Okay? And we'll try and fill in the gaps when we're not having games and stuff like that. Try not to be so long before we see each other each time, you know? But thank you very much, and get some sleep now. It's very late, all right? Oh, check the bot. Oh, right before. Oh, AKZ, you came in clutch on that one. Holy. Thank you very much, AKZ. You know you're a real beauty, right? And thanks to everyone else who stopped by in that lovely chat here tonight, okay? Video game music. Sign off. Go play some video games, all right? Peace!